So from the beginning of time, people have been hearing voices in their head. I remember watching cartoons, and there's a little demon over here with a pitchfork, and then there's a little angel over here with a halo and wings, the bad guy, the good guy, the negative voice and the positive voice. There's also been greater occurrences most recently of persons carrying out violent acts, and saying a voice in their head told them to do so. So I want to differentiate between that voice and the voices that we sometimes hear in our head. I think some of the violent crimes that have been committed that have been attributed to that voice telling people what to do, I think most of those are related to imbalances in the person. People like to give those imbalances a name and say the person is crazy or they're schizophrenic or whatever. But a lot of it, most of the times, has to do with imbalances, mineral imbalances, chemical imbalances, hormonal imbalances in the body, which allow persons to kind of have hallucinations or sensations of seeing and hearing things. And so a lot of the times, by just including some minerals, changing, removing some of the stressors, and nourishing the vagus nerve, by eating properly, some of that can be resolved. Now, that situation where we are all having the voices in our heads, negative and positive, those have to do with the kinds of experiences that you've had. A lot of us have had traumas during childhood. And then when we have to come into contact with situations that trigger us, then we will have a particular response. Now, if you're very negative, then you're probably going to have a predominance of negative voices. And if you're very positive, then you're going to have a predominance of the positive voices. What is important is that you become aware, because you can actually fill your consciousness with more positive thoughts, and then you experience more positive voices in your head, right? So it really has a lot to do with how you've been conditioned, the kinds of experiences that you've had that color your perspective, and therefore the kinds of conversations that you're going to have internally. Yeah? And this is why positive affirmations help so much. Positive affirmations can literally substitute for the negative affirmations that you've had, that you've cultivated over the years because of your experiences. So to distinguish between the two, I would say your inner self normally has mostly positive and affirming things to offer in terms of saying anything. And so if you're hearing positive, affirming statements or voices in your head, you know that is your true self, your higher self. Whenever you hear anything that is not affirming you, be sure that is not your higher self or your true self, because your true self will never affirm you in a negative way. So that's the main way of distinguishing between the two.